Okay then. I think it's time for our grand reveal. Not a reveal in a sense, but this is something that I mentioned before in Agent Briefing, and this is this mysterious PvE game mode that some of you may have seen in our roadmap for year 4. And finally, it's time for us to open a crack in the door and show you a small sneak peek into how it looks.
So I mean, just first, this is not season 10, just to be clear. We're targeting season 11 for this one. We'll take the time we need to make sure it's good, but so far it's on target. This is the first glimpse of the new game mode, as Daria mentioned. It is PvE game mode. The name of the mode is Descent, as a gist, basically what the game mode is, it is a roguelite. If you're used to those experiences, you're going to go in there as an agent. We're going to take away your gear. You're going to start from scratch, and you're going to have to use the mechanics that are available within the mode to become more powerful and try to take over harder and harder challenges as you progress. Once your session is over, be it because you died or because you decided to exit, and cash in on your rewards, you come back into the mode, you start from scratch all over again. You have, of course, some rewards, and you have some more permanent progression that is involved in there. But yes, expect something that's going to feel very different. It's especially the progression, because one thing that I want to mention, because I don't want people to draw that conclusion, it's not going to be like we take away your gear and you have to drop items inside, or green items and blue items and purple items. That's not the way we're going to handle that. There is no loot in this mode. We are using your talents. We are using the game talents. So it's going to be about combining talents, like looting talents, combining them and building mechanics and combinations that the game usually doesn't allow you to do. So you're going to be able to create completely new playstyles, completely new builds and combinations inside that game mode that are going to allow you to become probably super powerful, probably way more powerful than what you can reach in the game. But it's all contained in that session, and once the session ends, you start over again, and maybe you make different decisions. Every time you're completing a room, as roguelite, for those that are familiar, we give you a choice. Do you want this or that? You make a decision, you go to the next room, make a new choice. So every session is going to be different, because the choices will always be random.
Yeah, and this is basically as much as we can reveal right now, and we ask you not to bombard us with questions, just because we won't be able to answer all of them, and we'll ask you to patiently wait for the next time we are more comfortable to show you more.
And some gameplay, who knows?
Yeah, and the only thing that I can mention on top of what Yannick already said, that of course I had a chance to try it myself, and I must say that it was quite challenging. It was tough, but that's what makes it really exciting and interesting.
Yeah, it is, because it's, as I said, we're taking away your gear. So especially if you're used to the game, you have to relearn how to play without your godlike, fully optimized build, right? So you're going to have to use cover again. You're going to have to use weapons that you might not be used to handling. So it's really about, what makes it hard is especially this going back to the vanilla experience, in a way, of having a character without gear. But then as you progress, you can, as I said, you can build your character, you can go back to old habits. But the first habit that a lot of us have is, when you enter into the mode, is I'm going to just face tank everything and camp the spawn closet and just shoot everything down, and that's just not going to work there. Not at the beginning anyway. So it's really about relearning how to use cover, how to use space, how to play tactical, because the mode is here to try to kill you. So yeah.
Yeah, very encouraging, very exciting. But then, is there anything in the division that does not try to kill you?
Even other division agents try to kill you. So
yeah, I mean, probably maybe only the deer in the game.
How do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know they're not up to something?
Let's not give people too many things to think about. Okay, that was it. I really hope that it will be possible for us to come back with more information soon. But as I mentioned, do not expect the everything to be revealed like tomorrow or in a week, because first and foremost, it's planned for season 11, and even though it's still happening this year, we have season 10 to go through,
Yes.
and it's very exciting season. Actually, that's one joke before we move to the next thing. When I myself was playing through season 9, I thought that Hidden Aliens, like you understand what the name means when you finishing the season, when you finish it. But then I was like, what if we called it Turning Tables? Like that would be an amazing idea for season 9. But maybe for season 10 as well.
Yes.
Turning tables, because
Yeah.
tables, they have turned.
tables can turn. But season 10 is called Price of Power, and there's also a meaning behind that, which we try to give as many hints as we can with our season names. So yeah, Anderson is playing with fire.
But okay, I think that was it for the grand reveal, and there are also some things that, because we do not want to bore you with a lot of information. Last time we heard a lot of feedback that people want the live streams to be short and sweet, only filled with important information. So we're trying to do it just like that, just as you want it. And before we move to PvP, April events, and some other interesting reveals, there is the quick thing that I wanted to mention about ETF, because originally I wanted the ETF Foxtrot to be formed by the time of season 10 start, but due to a lot of things and forward
due to video game development.
Due to video game development, yeah, because we had forward, we have season 10 now. We're still processing your applications, and I want to ensure you that once we are ready to send out the letters, Hogwarts letters, to all of you to announce who's got in, we'll absolutely do that and announce it on socials, and you're gonna get the NDAs and emails. But the thing is, we received almost 3,000 applications, and it's quite a challenge to go through all of them, because we want to be thorough, we want to consider different options, and as you know, despite the popular belief that ETF is mostly packed with content creators or opinion leaders, which is partially true, and that would still be the case in the future, because of course we want people who are passionate about the game and very knowledgeable about it to be a part of ETF, but also we want to invite players who are either top of the, I wouldn't say leaderboards, but I do not really know a better word for it, who are very knowledgeable about PvP or PV, or I don't know, both. But at the same time, we're also interested in hearing from casual players, not only in the hardcore community. So basically everyone, every play style gets a say in the ETF. And this is what makes the selection process very tough, especially when you have so many applications to choose from. And one last thing that I wanted to mention, a lot of you were concerned that we're making a decision based on the playing time alone, because that was part of the questionnaire. And I just want to make sure that playtime is important, because mostly because for us it's one of the indicator to make sure that this is actually your account, given all other details, because this is the easiest way for us to compare your in-game name, your submitted playtime with the actual playtime in the game, right? But at the same time, for us, knowing your in-game name or Ubisoft Connect account, we can extract almost any information about your preferences, about your playstyle, preferred activities, and all that. So please be sure that the final selection is not based on the playing time alone, especially considering that we want casual players as well. And of course, they would not be able to put hundreds of hours in the game.
No, it's mostly just a confirmation, because very often we have people that are like, "Yeah, I have 2,000 hours playtime," and then we check the account and there's 10 hours, and then we know that it's probably not the right account. So then we need to look into that. But it's that's one of the main reasons, and it's interesting to see how much. What's the the declared playtime compared to what the account actually has? But most of the time we're using the in-game data we get to select the profiles. That, and of course also interested in what kind of players we're talking about. But as Daria said, it's really about trying to have a really representative subset of the entire player base, not just the hardcore, not just the PvEers, not just the PvPers, not just the content creators. We want to hear from everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And a few comments for our PvP players, please.
PvP, sure. Sure, nobody wants to hear about PvP. No, so we've been talking a bit about it recently, and yes, we do intend to try to work on PvP and improve it. We've already said TU16 Season 10 is not going to be the update that changes everything. One thing we are doing, though, with Season 10 is, neutralizing shrapnel trap in PvP, and that's something that's been asked for a very long time. We've been taking our time because we really wanted to try to find other alternatives rather than just removing something from the game. We wanted to see, can we actually fix it? Fixing it to make it work the way it should work is, for plenty of stupid reasons, it is actually very, very complicated. So I don't know how long it's going to take us. I don't know if that's even what we will want to do. I'll try to look at other solutions, but what we've decided for the time being is just to basically reduce its efficacy in PvP very drastically. So you shouldn't use it in PvP at this point. It's not going to be any good. And to try to take that out of the equation from PvP, and the objective for us is to try to have a conversation that is about other things, so we can then prioritize other things that need to be improved. Because for TU17 Season 11, we want to start addressing some of those issues. So with Season 11, you can expect that there's going to be more PvP changes, but mostly along the lines of bug fixing, glitches fixing, and balancing aberrations fixing as well. We know that we have some of those. So that's what we're targeting for Season 11. It's going to be like trying to address all the main issues, like the big issues, the big elephants in the room that are plaguing PvP. We're going to try to address as many of those as possible in Season 11. And then eventually, once we have something that is a bit more stable, then we can start looking at balancing, and potentially then even later on, revisit the PvP experience and see what needs to be changed.